How's it going, everybody? Bumbleburb here. So in case you don't really know, or you haven't really checked any of my videos recently, I did in fact get rid of 2 of the videos in which I talked about pretty awful teachers. The reason why I got rid of them is mostly because I'm actually redoing them in this video. Yeah, that's right, I'm deciding to enhance what I did, mostly because of 1, for enhancement, and 2, because my friends have given me some brand new knowledge that I never even knew about these teachers in the first place. So let's just simply get started with the one that I currently have now in 9th grade. Now, out of all the teachers, there's only one that is actually pretty awful. The other teachers are really nice, they know what they're doing, they're pretty much actually really good at their jobs. They don't have unstoppable god complexes, and they aren't just general douchebags. Except for this one teacher, which I'll actually be calling her, I'll call her Soccer Mom for the sake of this video. So Soccer Mom over here is essentially our current semantics teacher. Believe me when I say this, semantics really isn't that exciting to begin with. I mean, most of the stuff that you learn in semantics is usually stuff that you most likely already know. It's usually just simply a follow-up to that, just simply enhancing what you already knew. And, of course, also kind of making you learn just bits and pieces of new things that you probably didn't even know to begin with. But this teacher that we have just simply takes the dullness of that, multiplies it by 10, and of course, add that on top of complete and total stupidity, laziness, and me actually wanting to hit my head against the table with the force of a meteor. Yeah, that's pretty much the entirety of that entire class. So of course, just to simply get this started, let me just simply set the scene for you. So this teacher over here, and yes, I do in fact know that certain teachers have been doing this job for quite a long time, and sometimes they'll end up forgetting to actually explain things. But usually most of the time they'll actually ask if someone actually knows if they know certain things. Like for example in one of my friend's classes, you'll know him as Solo from my previous video. He actually goes to a class later on in the day with Miss Soccer Mom, and unfortunately, they had to do something called SIFT, and not even I knew what this stuff was. And the teacher herself actually asked if anyone knew what SIFT was. Solo pretty much described it as only about 3 people actually raising their hands, and of course the teacher was just to be like, oh, excellent. Might as well just simply hand out the papers and just expect the others to actually know what this is, because of the fact that I'm way too lazy to even bother to explain it. Because usually most teachers, whenever they actually try and explain something, sometimes they'll end up either explaining somewhat decently enough so that way you can understand it, or maybe explaining it in somewhat of a confusing manner to the point where some of the kids actually will raise their hands and go like, can you explain that a little bit simpler? But this teacher just straight up just skips all that, just simply goes like, oh, 3 people know this? Well, I'm gonna assume that everyone knows this, and I'm just gonna hand out papers, because screw all of you that actually don't know this, because I think you're all idiots. And Solo didn't even know what this was, and actually had to go out of his way to ask some of the kids that did know what it was in order to find out what it meant. Honestly, I forgot what it actually meant. I think it was like something about like thematics or something like that. Theme, tone, whatever. I know that was like the T of it. I don't remember what the SIF was. Just don't even bother asking me about this. I'm gonna have to go and ask him sometime about it, because because believe me, you think it can't get any worse? Well, it probably can, honestly, but it does in fact get worse. And worse it does get. You know that laziness that I was talking about, that I already just simply brought up? Well, it gets even worse from there, because believe it or not, sometimes she'll just straight up either, 1, not even put in grades to begin with for like the first 3 weeks of the entire class. Like the entire, like, quarter of the entire, you know, quarter, like, the first 3 weeks. Kid you not even putting in grades, and it just appears as a blank on the abysmal site known as Edsby. Also, on a little side note, Edsby is just simply a mess. Why can't we just simply go back to the original way? Just scrap Edsby. Go back to email. Just just get rid of the entire site, please. Either that or change it so that way it doesn't cause me to have a heart attack, because believe me, the entire site just gives me a frickin' heart attack. Mostly because of teachers like Miss Munzing here, because of the fact that Miss Munzing I'm pretty sure just straight up doesn't even frickin' like me. I swear I just simply drew when I was done with my entire work. She just walked by and just gave me the worst stink eye you could possibly get from a teacher. And I'm pretty sure from that day forward, I'm pretty sure she just simply has a vendetta against me. And of course, several other kids within my class, and of course, several other kids like me, and of course, those other kids within our other classes. Because I'm pretty sure she makes sure that she puts in those grades as early as humanly possible, sometimes so early that it'll pretty much end up being as a late grade when she puts it in, even though some people will end up turning it in on time. Now, I'm not really sure if this actually really happened to begin with, but I'm pretty sure she would actually be the kind of person that would do that because of her absolute laziness, and of course her vendetta against anyone. And let me just simply say this. Me and Solo are just absolutely terrified to even ask her when she explains something way too frickin' confusing. Because to be honest, she's probably one of those teachers that if you decide to ask her a question, she'll look at you like you're an alien species, and will probably think that you're a complete and total imbecile for not understanding something that she expects you to know. She expects you to know something that you most likely didn't even learn in the previous grade, most likely because your previous school was most likely a stone-cold prison. But yeah, it is just simply an awful teacher, and I'm honestly just simply surprised that she hasn't been, like, either fired or just she hasn't been told off by any kind of, like, authorities within the school, or even goddamned fired. I'm just simply waiting for her for just all the cosmic karma to just simply come crashing down on her. I mean, she already went through a sickening breakup supposedly last year with her boyfriend, which I'm honestly just simply surprised she even managed to get anyone to actually like her that much. I wonder why her boyfriend left. I really frickin' wonder. But of course, I'd rather not dwell on this too much because, believe me, I've had worse teachers. And honestly, they were in my previous school. Now, let me just simply paint this school out for you. You probably already know I just simply briefly described it like 2 seconds earlier as a big old stone-cold prison. That's pretty much what my middle school was. It looked like a massive, just depressing prison. Solo pretty much described it perfectly as when he entered those front gates, he pretty much just simply broke down crying. Pretty sure if the depression doesn't get to you, the teachers frickin' will. Well, some of the teachers. I mean, some of the teachers are actually pretty nice there, which is something that I wasn't really expecting to see in, I'm pretty sure, what was supposed to be a prison cell. But some of the teachers that were absolutely awful were just... Oh, good lord. Let me just simply get started off with my last year, amazing orchestra teacher. He wasn't amazing at all. I'm just simply call him Spock. There we go. Perfect frickin' name for what he is, because he's just an emotionless human being. And believe me, this teacher is really no different. This teacher, I swear, shows no real frickin' emotions, and any kind of emotions that he does end up feeling are so frickin' forced it's painfully obvious. And of course, let me just simply bring this up for right now. He's one of those teachers that likes to brag about certain students to other students throughout the entire class year, and of course years afterwards, because Solo is a pretty good cellist, and he's also within the band, so he's also pretty good at that as well. And let me just simply say, as far as I've heard, Spock hasn't yet to shut up about it, and honestly, Solo just honestly doesn't really like it whatsoever. Doesn't really... I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone who actually has a moral fiber in their body wouldn't really like someone going around bragging to every single living soul and every single living organism that they meet that there is that one student in their class that is just, oh my god, amazing. Just honestly, it was just a depressing class, honestly. And whenever I entered that class, I was just simply waiting for the bell to ring. Mostly because of the fact that right after that class was an escape, like literally like a 2-foot escape over to the cafeteria for lunch. Then there is my middle school math teacher. Well, believe me when I say this, when they say that the stereotype for math teachers is that they're hell, this teacher pretty much perfectly represents it. Just, awful. Absolutely hated her. Made one of my friends who was in my class period cry not once, not twice, but I'm pretty sure at least like 3 times, and the teacher didn't give a singular crap about it. And honestly, one of her friends even came to her and actually said that the teacher herself, which I'm just simply going to call her the Blair Witch Project, the Blair Witch Project herself just simply decided to say, yeah, that kid's just frickin' annoying. She keeps on crying, and I honestly don't even give a crap about any kind of emotions, because I'm literally frickin' Satan. Okay, she didn't exactly say that last part, but she did in fact say that she was just getting sick of my friend crying in the class. Not even kind of a consolation or whatsoever. I'm surprised she wasn't fired for that. But then again, do you really expect the authorities within a school to listen to the kids? If you did, then what parallel universe are you living in? Please let me climb in there, please. Just please let me in there. But yeah, that's just pretty much the entire thing. That teacher was just honestly just... I'm surprised that she wasn't fired. Although she did get transferred to another school, so that way she can actually torment some kids over there. But the thing was that that wasn't even the worst part of it. She would get angry at the drop of a hat. Like, literally, if you dropped a hat in her class, I'm pretty sure she would just go down on you for no fucking reason. Just continuously going like, oh my goodness, you cause so much freaking noise in my class, and it's just simply like a small little tap on the ground. She just simply goes off on you like she's a freaking chimpanzee, like a gorilla heading straight towards a red blanket, like just absolutely insane, and just simply just the definition of run for your entire life, please. Just an awful teacher, and I'm surprised that she just wasn't entirely fired from a teaching job. But at least she got transferred to another school, so that way she can't, you know, be the Satan of Rogers Middle School. So now I'm pretty sure Mr. Spock up there will pretty much just simply go like, yay, I'm the new Satan of the school. Now screw all of you, I'm just going to be my old motionless robotic husk for the rest of the class. Screw all of you. But anyways, that's the end of today's video, and if you guys enjoyed today's video, then, I don't know, consider leaving a like. Yeah, that's great. 1 like, and I will send you your very own, I'll send you your very own Murasama. That's right, I'll send you your very own frickin' Murasama, straight from the Devourer of Gods himself. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. Although it's really just simply a knife-sized one, but it's still pretty good at, like, cutting bread and stuff like that, so that'll be great. So, a nice, like, miniature-sized Murasama for you, for your enjoyment. But of course, in all seriousness, guys, consider leaving a like, consider subscribing. Every single bit pretty much just helps me at this point. It definitely keeps me motivated to try and continue to make videos. Because believe me, I do in fact really enjoy making videos. I do in fact enjoy trying to improve my content so that way I can get a few more people actually getting something out of my videos. And as long as, you know, there are people supporting me, then I'll be perfectly fine. I'm really happy with every bit of support that everyone sends me, and I only have you guys to thank me for it. Also, thank you guys so much for 35 subs. That's pretty amazing. That's actually a milestone I really wasn't even expecting to begin with, because I never really expected to actually get even 20 subscribers, not even 15 subscribers. I was really expecting at least like 5 at the most, but believe me, I was blown away that so many people would actually try and support me. Maybe it's the fact that they actually see some sort of potential with me to actually, you know, improve my content to the point where it's at least somewhat watchable. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.